Open your fridge right now. Look at the eggs. Now look at whatever chicken is in there. Both came from chickens. But here is something strange. Every single egg in that carton was made by a female, and almost every piece of chicken meat you have ever eaten in your life also came from a female. So where are all the males? There are roughly 8 billion chickens on Earth right now. Half of every egg that ever hatched was male. So where did they all go? Before we answer that, you need to understand something that most people have never been told. The chicken on your plate and the chicken that laid your egg are not the same animal. They look the same. They are both called chickens. But after thousands of years of human breeding, they are almost completely different creatures doing completely different jobs. One was built to produce eggs, the other was built to produce meat, and that one decision, made by humans over decades, is the reason the male chicken almost disappeared from your dinner table entirely. Let us go back to the beginning. When a hen lays an egg, that egg is either fertilized or it is not. An unfertilized egg is just food. It will never become a chick. A fertilized egg will hatch, and when it hatches, roughly half the time, out comes a male chick. He is healthy, he is normal, he is a perfectly good chicken. But here is the problem. He cannot lay eggs. And if he comes from an egg-laying breed, he was not built to grow into meat efficiently either. So from the very first moment he breaks out of that shell, the entire industrial system around him has no clear job for him. Now, here is where the story gets uncomfortable. For most of modern commercial egg production, the answer to what happens to male chicks was brutally simple. They were killed, almost immediately after hatching. Not because they were sick, not because they did anything wrong, but because the math of the system made them too expensive to keep. Feed costs money, space costs money, labor costs money, and a male chick from an egg-laying breed was not going to return any of that investment. So the industry made a cold calculation, and for decades, billions of male chicks met that fate. But here is what changed everything. Scientists started asking, what if we never had to hatch the male chicks in the first place? What if we could look inside the egg while the embryo was still developing and tell whether it was male or female? If you could do that, you could simply remove the male eggs before they ever hatched. No male chick would ever emerge. No decision would ever need to be made. This technology is real. It is called in ovo sexing, and it is quietly changing the entire egg industry right now. But not everywhere solved it with technology. Some people asked a completely different question. What if we just ate them? And here is something most people in modern countries have genuinely forgotten. Roosters taste good. Male chickens have been eaten by humans for thousands of years. Across France, across Asia, across Latin America, dishes built around roosters still exist. Coq au vin, one of the most famous French dishes in the world, was originally made from an old rooster. Not a young hen, not a broiler, a tough old male bird that needed hours of slow cooking to become something extraordinary. So why did roosters disappear from modern kitchens? The answer is speed. A modern broiler chicken reaches eating weight in about 6 weeks. 6 weeks. That is extraordinarily fast. A rooster from an egg-laying breed takes much longer to grow, and even then produces less meat in less convenient places. When supermarkets started selling chicken by the piece, uniform breasts, uniform thighs, uniform drumsticks, the rooster simply could not compete. He was too slow, too lean, too different, and the system had no patience for different. But here is the twist that most food documentaries never mention. Right now in 2025, something is changing. Several European countries have already made male chick culling illegal. Germany banned it in 2022. France followed. Other countries are moving in the same direction. The pressure is coming from consumers who discovered what was happening and decided they did not want to support it. And the egg industry is being forced to find alternatives. In-ovo-sexing is expanding. Dual-purpose breeds, chickens that can produce reasonable eggs and reasonable meat, are being reconsidered. The rooster is quietly making a comeback. And here is the part that ties everything together. The story of the male chicken is not really about chickens. It is about what happens when humans optimize a living system purely for efficiency. We took one bird, an animal that had been part of human life for 10,000 years, and we split it into two specialized machines, one to make eggs, one to make meat. And in doing so, we accidentally created a category of living creature that had no economic value, not because it lacked value as a living thing, but because the system we built had no room for it. We have done this with animals for thousands of years. We do not just domesticate species, we reshape them entirely. We decide which traits matter. Then we breed those traits again and again, until the animal itself changes beyond recognition. The modern broiler chicken cannot survive in the wild. It has been bred so heavily for breast meat that it struggles to walk. The modern laying hen produces so many eggs that her body is depleted within 2 years. These are not natural animals anymore. They are products. And the male chicken, caught between two product categories, fell through the gap. But here is what is easy to miss in all of this. The rooster, before industrialization, was never a problem. He was a partner. He woke the farm up every morning. He protected the hens. He was needed for fertilization. He was eaten when old. He was respected in many cultures. He appeared on weather vanes and church steeples and national emblems. The rooster did not become worthless because something changed about him. He became worthless because something changed about us and the system we chose to build around food. So, the next time you buy eggs or pick up a package of chicken, here is what you are actually looking at. You are looking at the end result of thousands of years of human decisions. Decisions about what to breed, what to keep, what to discard, what to optimize. The chicken on your plate did not happen by accident. It was designed by us, for us. And somewhere in that design, we created a problem we are still trying to solve. The male chicken problem is not biology's fault. It is a design flaw in a system built by humans. And right now, for the first time, humans are actually trying to fix it. Here is what this all means. The egg in your refrigerator has a story that most people never hear. It was laid by a hen who was bred for one specific purpose, and when that hen was hatched, her brother was also hatched, and for most of human history, that brother had a place. He crowed at sunrise, he protected the flock, he ended up in a pot of something wonderful on a Sunday. Then we built a system so efficient, so specialized, so optimized, that we forgot to leave room for him, and now, slowly, we are remembering. Ming! Subscribe if this made you see something ordinary completely differently, and if you know someone who eats eggs every single morning without ever asking where they came from, send this to them, because the answer was always more interesting than anyone told us. See you next time.